YTBC, what's the deal? Let me turn this down in the background. I don't want YouTube to say I'm in violation of something, copyright infringement or something. But sitting here watching Ali, ESPN Classic, an audience, little interviews he did out in the UK, where it's just an audience, selected audience from the media and different people and former fighters. They're asking them questions. And it's funny. I'm going to get to the topic of the video for a second, but I'm just watching this video and Ali made some points that I just found out now. And I'm a lifelong Ali fan. Do a lot of research on the heavyweight division, so on and so forth. And I didn't know that Muhammad Ali was really, and I know this might sound crazy, man. And when he was saying it, I was looking at him. He was dead serious. And he was talking about countries he was trying to get this fight set up in. But after he beat Foreman, Ali was trying to get a fight sanction to where he was going to fight, or he wanted to fight 20 rounds, and he wanted to fight Frazier for the first 10 rounds. And then after that was over, have Foreman come in and finish the last 10 rounds. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. But if you watch this interview and watch him talk, he is dead serious. He's not joking. He's not smiling. He was dead serious about this happening. And for those you don't know, Foreman did something kind of close to this idea where he got in that ring. I believe the fight was up in Canada. I believe it was in Canada, man. I can't remember. But when he fought like 5 men, it was after the Ali situation. He was trying to build his confidence back up. And Foreman just looked like, and I respect Foreman, and Foreman said this himself, that he just looked like a fool doing that shit. He was clowning around. I mean, it just didn't look like the George Foreman we're, used to seeing, man. But, interesting interview. Ali will give interesting interviews wherever he was, getting interviewed. But in the UK, man, it was like a second home to him almost. He was a good interview, man. Like, you watch his interviews, they were very insightful interviews, man. And another thing he was talking about was before he was getting ready to fight Foreman, he says that there was some Italian gangster in his 70s that came to the gym. He didn't want to say the dude's name, but, people know who he's talking about, the people that are in the know back then. And the dude told him if he wanted, going into the Foreman fight, he was trying to give Ali a substance, and Ali took the substance from him. And the dude told him, if you're ever in trouble in a fight, have your corner put this on your glove. You can't smell it. You can't see it. It's clear. And as soon as you start, hitting Foreman, for example, in the forehead or something like that, as soon as he starts to perspire and the sweat and it gets in his eye, he won't be able to see for a few minutes. It won't blind him. It won't, cripple him, but he will be blinded for a few minutes. And Ali, he took the bottle, but he didn't use it. But, but he was saying that this same guy knew, I forgot the guy's name that he said, but he knew another guy that was in the Liston camp. And when he remembered, this same gangster that gave him this bottle that was saying used this substance was in Liston's camp when he was getting ready to fight Liston. He was just going over when his eyes were stinging and things like that. But let me get to what I'm talking about. Man, I just wasted damn near 4 minutes. So I was on, what is the name of this? Let me look it up real quick, because I don't want to get this mixed up with anybody else's YouTube page. Let me see. Just give me a second, y'all. Just kick it with me for a second. It's the Mayweather Boxing Channel. It's the official Mayweather Boxing Channel here on YouTube. Jeff Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and Roger Mayweather. I believe they're the focal point of the channel, guys that they work with. Roger's going around interviewing guys. It's their official channel. It's theirs. It's not a fan-made channel. It's their channel. And I'm subscribed to the channel, so a video pumped out, and, I was going down my subscriptions, and I seen a video about Nick Diaz, the MMA fighter. I do know the Diaz brothers. Them dudes go by their own rules, man. Them motherfuckers are some wild dudes. But I see Nick Diaz was suspended for marijuana for 5 years. They banned him for 5 years. Bless, from what I've seen, it's like his second or third time testing positive for marijuana. I believe it's third. So they gave him, 5-year ban, and so Jeff Mayweather was going around the Mayweather gym talking about it to guys, and, they're joking and jiving. Some guys are serious about it. Some guys are saying, hey, man, let that dude smoke his bud, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, some dudes was like, well, you know, it's his third time, so on and so forth. Jeff even was trying to ask Mayweather about it. He didn't really answer the question. I think Mayweather was watching somebody in the gym spar. He was mainly focused on that. And he was talking to Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, and he was, I think when the interview first started, he was talking to Jalen Love. So, you know, I'm reading the comments and everybody's bringing up, you know, Margarito or Margarito and just ragging on all these other fighters that's ever been caught cheating or been accused of cheating, you know. So I'm just reading the comments like, well, man, isn't this the like this, you know, isn't this ironic? Like, you know, I understand that Nick Diaz was the topic, but in the comments section, people are bringing up other fighters and other sports and cheaters. So I'm just like, before I even started the my comment, when you know, before I got to the point, I started off by saying, look, I respect Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. He was a great fighter in his day. He actually had pretty good defense, man. He's underrated with his defense. He could time punches really well in his prime, you know, formerly known as Eddie Gregory. You know, I remember reading about in one of those boxing magazines, and I actually seen the video on YouTube when, you know, I started to come on YouTube in 07, 08. But I remember reading that he went to a prison and fought the badass of the prison. It was a sanctioned fight. I just couldn't believe he did that, reading in the magazine. I was like, this motherfucker went on the prison ground and fought a fight against the prison's top fighter. You know what I'm saying? So he had to fight with Spinks. My dad was pissed, man. I remember we had that fight on VHS in the 80s. And my dad really wanted him to beat Spinks. So I just have a lot of respect. I don't know everything about him, but it was a fighter that my dad used to talk about, and he used to be in the magazines in the late 80s. So, you know, I'm giving respect to him. I respected Floyd. Sam Floyd's a great fighter. He has, you know, good up and coming young fighters in his gym. You know, I gave respect to Roger Mayweather. I gave respectful comments the first two sentences. And then the last sentence, I'm just like, but it's kind of ironic, though, asking somebody like Jalen Love what he thinks about a band or any type of thing when, you know, he can have his opinion. You know, I'm not saying he can't have an opinion because he tested positive for a banned substance. But I was just like, well, man, I mean, the Arias kid, the Tyner, Mickey Bay, Jalen Love. Who else tested for a banned substance in the Mayweather gym? There was like 5 guys. And I'm just like, man, well, you know, all you guys in the comments saying that this guy's, you know, Margarito and all this, and that's fine. You know, he probably did have bricks in his damn gloves. I don't know. But it was just like, damn, ain't nobody saying nothing about guys we see on the video like Jalen Love who took a diuretic. Like, I mean, 5 dudes in the gym been popped. These are facts. And that's all I said. I didn't say, oh, they're, you know, punks or bitches or I can't stand this channel. No, I respected Roger, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Jeff, and Floyd before I even said the last sentence about, you know, the TMT fighters that's been popped for banned substances. Don't you know, man, my comment got erased. I'm not saying Jeff Mayweather did it. I'm not whoever really runs their channel as far as looking at the comments. Now, I don't know if the Mayweathers, you know, are sitting on these, you know, message boards looking for, you know, comments to erase, but they erased my comment. This is the first time since I've been on YouTube I've seen my comment erased. So I'm just, you know, so when I seen it this morning, I just kept scrolling through and it's like, oh, okay. Not only do you have to just respect the Mayweathers on his channel, you can't bring up the truth. All I said was the truth, man. And it was just one sentence. Like, I'm like, damn, oh man, you know, it is what it is. Like I always say, I'm not here to micromanage nobody's channel. I'm not here to do any of that. But what I did do, I just went and I unsubscribed. It's the first time, the 2 things that were first, I actually unsubscribed to somebody's channel because they erased my comment, which was a first. So it's like, man, so, you know, it just goes to show that people, you know, they don't really want to hear the truth, man. They don't really want to, you know, research history. You know, I was listening to a video from Zone 6, a damn good video, man. Go to Zone 6 Boxing's channel and check out his recent vids that he dropped. But I come to the conclusion, man, people don't want to hear the truth. People don't want to research fighters and look at history. like I was telling Zone 6, I was talking to somebody in the comment section a few weeks ago or like a week ago about what Marlon Starling was able to achieve being a welterweight for, his whole career, 10 years. He goes up, fights Michael Nunn at middleweight to test himself. And then he drops right back down after that to welterweight to fight Maurice Blocker, right? The dude tells me, yeah, but, the dude was a, extreme fan of a fighter. And he's like, yeah, but, Marlon Starling really had no skills, though. Okay. I was like, well, man, you obviously didn't watch the fight, because if you watched the fight, Michael Nunn caught a lot of flack from fighting off his back foot and getting pushed up against the ropes by Marlon Starling. I remember my father, my uncles, I remember that fight. Michael Nunn was a fighter that I do remember growing up watching. I remember the VHS tapes and watching it with my family. Like my dad thought he was, Nunn was a pussy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it honest. That's how he felt about him, because he was just so inconsistent. Like he'll, go in there and knock Sambu Kalimbe out cold in the first round, and then he'll go in there and get pushed up against the ropes against Marlon Starling, or wouldn't engage with Iran Barkley, or, so on and so forth. But I'm just saying, man, like, I just can't believe my comment got erased when all I did was talk about the truth. I didn't call nobody a bitch, a punk, nothing. I gave respect to the Mayweathers, Eddie Mustafa, the fighters in the gym. But then I just said, but hey, man, it's kind of funny, though. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 dudes in the gym in the last 2 years been popped. They're not the only 5 fighters in the sport that's been popped. But I'm just saying, it was just kind of funny because everybody, jucking and jiving and nigga this and motherfucker that and, and Margaret Cheeto and all this shit. And it's like, okay, well, what about that gym, though? All it was just the truth. I don't know, man. It's like whenever you try to be objective and just, look at things down the middle, man, it's like fans don't want that. They want to be one-sided and not know the history and, not want to know the truth, so it is what it is, man. But I thought it was pretty funny. And, and I didn't go back and leave another comment like, motherfucker, you erased my comment. I just left it as it was. Okay, that's fine. I just unsubscribed from the channel. YTBC, I'm out.